Gene Hackman, a master of gritty realism, proved that a single performance can reshape a career. Lisa Marie Presley carried a musical legacy while forging her own artistic voice. Tony Bennett turned every jazz standard into a lesson in timeless phrasing. Whitney Houston's soaring vocals reminded the world how raw emotion can command a stage. Maggie Smith's razor-sharp wit and depth turned every role into a masterclass. Brian Wilson's inventive melodies showed that studio experimentation can become pop history. When Morgan Freeman's resonant voice became a cultural trademark, the very sound that opened doors also threatened to lock him into a single role. Studios began to hear his baritone before they saw his face, and the pressure to deliver the authoritative narrator risked eclipsing his ambition to act across genres. Freeman answered that pressure with relentless preparation. He would rehearse lines aloud for hours, dissecting each syllable to keep the voice a tool, not a cage. The roots of that discipline trace back to his early years in Mississippi, where a modest upbringing taught him the value of hard work. After a stint in the United States Air Force, he used the GI Bill to study theater at Los Angeles City College, then honed his craft at the Pasadena Playhouse. In those classrooms, he learned that every role demands a rehearsal ritual, a habit that would later define his career. Freeman's first professional gigs were modest. He worked as a prison guard, a doorman, and a voiceover for radio commercials. Each job required him to master timing, projection, and the subtle art of listening, skills he later applied to his acting. He also took night classes, absorbing Stanislavski's system and the techniques of method acting, which emphasized emotional truth over flamboyant performance. The breakthrough came in 1987 with Street Smart, where he played a seasoned con artist opposite Christopher Reeve. The role earned him an Academy Award nomination and forced the industry to see beyond the voice. Freeman didn't rest on that success. He insisted on script analysis sessions with director Mike Figgis, breaking down the character's motivations line by line. This meticulous approach became his standard for every project. A year later, Driving Miss Daisy cemented his status as a leading man. Working with director Bruce Beresford, Freeman cultivated a quiet intensity, rehearsing scenes with Jessica Tandy until the chemistry felt inevitable. He later described the process as a disciplined conversation, a phrase that underscores his belief that acting is as much about listening as speaking. The conflict of typecasting resurfaced with The Shawshank Redemption, 1994. Director Frank Darabont wanted Freeman to embody hope without sentimentality, so Freeman spent weeks in a Vermont prison visiting inmates, absorbing their cadence and mannerisms. He recorded his lines in a single take, trusting the preparation to capture authenticity. The film's success proved that his voice could carry weight without defining the entire performance. Freeman's commitment to craft extends to his voiceover work, which he treats as a separate discipline. For the documentary March of the Penguins, he recorded in a sound booth, pacing his narration like a conductor, ensuring each pause amplified the visual narrative. He has spoken for brands, yet he negotiates contracts that protect artistic integrity, refusing projects that would dilute his credibility. In the 2000s, Freeman embraced risk, by producing and starring in films that challenged his image. He co-founded Revelations Entertainment with Laurie McCreary, a company dedicated to thought-provoking storytelling. Their first project, Along Came a Spider, required Freeman to master a new genre, psychological thriller, prompting him to study crime scene protocols and forensic psychology to ground his performance. Health setbacks added another layer to his conflict. A heart attack in 2008 forced him to pause filming, and he used the recovery period to reflect on his work ethic. He returned to set with a renewed focus on stamina, integrating daily vocal exercises and cardio routines to sustain the demanding schedule of blockbuster productions like Red 2010. Freeman's partnership with director Steven Spielberg on War of the Worlds 2005 highlighted his collaborative spirit. He rehearsed with Tom Cruise, matching the intensity of a sci-fi thriller while preserving his grounded performance style. The director praised Freeman's willingness to reread the script every day, a habit that kept his character evolving throughout production. Beyond the screen, Freeman mentors emerging talent, insisting that craft beats charisma. He teaches workshops at the Sundance Institute, where he emphasizes script analysis, vocal control, and the importance of rehearsal discipline. Participants recount his insistence on reading the same page 5 times before moving on, a practice that mirrors his own preparation habits. Today, Freeman continues to balance acting, narration, and entrepreneurship. He voices the upcoming documentary series on climate change, a project that demands extensive research into scientific terminology, which he masters through daily study sessions. Simultaneously, he serves on the board of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, leveraging his public platform to advocate for systemic change. The ongoing narrative of Morgan Freeman is not a static legend, but a living testament to disciplined craft. His voice remains iconic, yet it is the unseen hours of rehearsal, the willingness to confront typecasting, and the continuous pursuit of new challenges that sustain his relevance. In a career spanning 6 decades, Freeman shows that mastery is a daily practice, not a one-time accolade, and that the conflict between fame and artistic freedom can be resolved through relentless, unglamorous work.